right, good morning. It's a beautiful morning here. Spring has sprung. There's pollen everywhere. David Parrish here with another episode of Who Runs the City. We're here at Wellspring Retirement Community. Is that the official?
Life plan community.
Wellspring,
A life plan community.
a life plan community here in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's a wonderful facility. Just driving around, coming in here this morning, just amazing. It's all here. We're going to run around this campus. We're here with Robin McCloskey and Michael, my friend. What's up, buddy?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
We're going to talk a little bit about who you are, what you do here, a little bit about running, and then we're going to run about a 5K lap around the facility. And we'll end back here at this beautiful putting green. I didn't bring my putter. Probably need to work on my putting a little bit. But Robin, we'll start with you. Robin, tell me a little bit about yourself, kind of how you grew up here. No, you grew up here. You grew up here. And maybe a little bit about running. We'll talk about that. So, Robin.
So I'm from Greensboro, and I grew up here and married, 3 kids.
Yeah.
Got into fitness right out of high school. Started at 22 becoming a group fitness instructor, and then by the time I was 30, I was a personal trainer. Worked in a lot of gyms around Greensboro, and about 8 years ago, got offered the job here as the wellness director. And
so you are the wellness director for the whole campus.
Yes.
At Wellspring. Wow, pretty cool.
Mainly the independent
The
living.
independent
Michael's
living.
on
Okay,
the
independent
assisted
living.
Yes, the independent living side. Yes.
How many residents in total live in this campus here?
460.
Yeah, I think around 460.
460 residents. That's including the healthcare
Including
and
healthcare.
independent.
Uh-huh.
All right. So Michael, you are the
Director of Health Services.
Director of Health Services.
Yes.
So that includes what here on this
So that
campus?
includes rehab, skilled care, assisted living, and memory care.
Wow.
And then we also have a clinic where residents can come to get services here on campus as well that I'm responsible for.
And y'all have some that are off campus too, right? You have some homes, independent homes?
Yeah, with
or-
Verbena.
Yes, they're
Okay.
across the
So,
street.
yeah, but they of course access services over here as well.
So about 460, give or take,
Yes, yeah.
residents living here on this beautiful campus that have access to things like, behind us here is an aquatic
Yep.
center with fitness room, putting green we can kind of see back behind here. We'll end here and we'll kind of talk a little bit there, wrap up. Tell me a little bit about running. How long have you been running? What do you enjoy? 5Ks, marathons? What do you do?
Well, I got into it right after I had my second child.
Okay.
I was still teaching aerobics all the time. I was a gym rat, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get rid of some of this baby fat. And I signed up for a race, and I ended up winning the race. And I thought, ooh. So I started
Slightly
running.
competitive? Yes,
slightly.
yeah.
So I started
Robert and
running.
I ran a race one time, and she informed my father that she beat me in the race. So she's fast. So
I had to tell Bud.
yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So I started when I was 33, and I'm now 56. So, and I joined the Runners Race Series. I didn't even know there was race series. And after I was running a few years, I got into the race series, and I've been running that every year since. So.
Michael, you ran
So my journey running starts way back. So I've been running, starting with track and field since Boys and Girls Club age, with my dad being my first coach. He was big into running, so that's kind of how I got into it. But then I've ran all the way through college. So I ran at Marshall University. I ran track and cross country.
the herd.
Yeah,
The
the
herd.
Thunder and Herd.
Thunder and herd.
We
Okay.
are. So yeah, I ran through college. Don't run it quite as much as I used to, but one of my New Year's resolutions for this year is to complete a half marathon. I was trying to complete one last year and it didn't quite work out, so hopefully I can get it done this year.
Well,
If
maybe-
I don't, I know Robin's gonna hold me accountable.
Yeah. Well, maybe we sign it together and we'll film it for one of our episodes.
All right,
something
let's
like
do it.
that.
Let's
So,
do it.
Any particular gear you like to run in that you kind of a must-have for you? Some people like particular shoes. Anything?
I just must have my piece of gum. That's
Piece of
it.
gum.
That's
That's
it.
cool.
We talked about it a little bit earlier. Historically, I was always been a Nike guy. Over the years, I kind of have leaned more to the Clifton Hokas.
Okay.
And then watch-wise, I always like the Garmin Forerunner. this is an older one, but they always seem to do well.
I used to have a 4Runner. I like the 4Runner.
Yeah.
I have a different kind of Garmin now. Are you running a watch?
No, I do my own ordering.
So you just run?
I don't like headphones, I don't like watch, and I like Brooks shoes.
You just run. That's
I just
awesome.
run, yep.
So you just try to get in the miles or whatever you think is the time.
Well, I've done 2 marathons and about three or 4 half marathons, but my favorite's like 5-10 Ks.
Yeah. You're a sprinter.
Yeah.
You can't run too fast for me today. You're gonna have to pull back a little bit because I know how fast
me
you
too.
are. So, don't exhaust me now. What was your background degree? Because you're in,
by trade I'm a nursing home administrator. So I have a bachelor's degree in business administration, and I have a master's in healthcare administration.
Okay.
And so I've been working in senior living for 16 years now.
Wow, cool, man.
And 3 years, going on 3 years here at Wellspring.
Well, we'll talk a little bit as we run, and maybe we'll stop along the way. I know you've got some really cool amenities and facilities here on campus, but really doing some impactful work for how many residents in the healthcare?
About 140.
About 140 residents in the healthcare side, 460 in total. They all can come and utilize really anything that's here,
Any
including the
side
aquatics. So we'll run around the campus a little bit. Robin will lead the way, literally, and we'll have some fun, and we'll stop along the way and kind of meet some people maybe that we're out walking around, and we'll get this going. So, all right, Robin, we're gonna follow you.
All right.
You ready?
Yep. Okay.
All right, let's go. All right, so I'm exhausted.
I think I'm there as well.
This is a hillier track than I expected. Robin knew what was in store. You are a personal trainer.
This feels like a setup.
Robin, if you've watched, Robin's clearly leading the way. She thinks this is a race and she's gonna win. No, I'm just kidding. We're stopping here. This is what Wellspring y'all refer to as the healthcare side.
Correct.
So we got a couple buildings here. You mentioned this is a life
Plan.
community.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what that means and then what the significance of standing here is within that life plan.
So of course, when a resident chooses a place like Wellspring, you're not only choosing at the moment, your level of care, but what might happen down the road. So you come in as independent living, and some people stay independent living their entire stay. Excuse me, I'm a little tired.
No, that's good. We should have had some water.
Yeah, but in the event that your health declines, we have assisted living, you have skilled care, you have rehab for short stays,
So if I have a knee surgery or something?
knee replacement,
Okay.
maybe a short bout with pneumonia. Then we also have memory care. So when you talk about life plan, it's kind of a plan for however your life might turn out.
Because it's unpredictable.
It's unpredictable.
This
Everybody
gives you some confidence that at least
some
know
coverage,
that,
yes,
you're
yes,
here.
because everybody's journey is different. And of course, the goal at Wellspring is to give the same level of care through the whole continuum. And that's really what we focus on here.
Awesome. And this is skilled nursing.
So the
and,
building over there is skilled nursing. This building over here is memory care. Our rehab is kind of tucked back here. And the assisted living is tucked back in there, which we have 60 beds of assisted living, and it's 2 levels.
How many employees just in the healthcare
Whew.
side?
I don't know. I would say something anywhere from 400, 500, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot of people providing a lot of care to this full continuum of 460 residents in general. And you have your own wellness director or activities director here?
Well, we have a life engagement department. They oversee the whole community. So there's a director of life engagement, and then there's life engagement coordinators for each area here on the community.
All right. You good?
I'm good.
I've got in my breath. I know you're good.
I just want to add one thing.
Yes.
I think a beautiful thing to see, though, working here on the independent side, is if there's like a couple and one of the spouses have to come to this side, it's nice to see that that spouse can come over and visit and everything. They're not going to sit in a hospital all day, you know.
Yeah.
It is just, it's nice that they can still go on with their life and still be connected with their spouse.
That's
you know?
awesome.
So it's really a beautiful thing to see.
That's beautiful. And Robin's waved at, I think, 17 people already this morning on the run. But we're going to keep going.
Yep.
Maybe find another couple spots to stop. Give me a chance to catch my breath.
Okay.
But we'll get going again.
Yep.
You ready?
All right.
All right. All right, taking a break here. One of the residents here at Wellspring, Dick Rosen, just met my new friend Dick Rosen. You practiced medicine here in Greensboro for many
Yes.
years, and
Yes.
you were also, I would say, still are a runner, but you tell me you run about how many steps now?
4,
Four.
if it's downhill.
4 strides downhill, but you were a runner pretty accurate. So tell me a little bit about your practice. You were saying you practice here.
I had an office in internal medicine and hematology and oncology from 1966 until 1997. After that, I taught interns and residents at Cone Hospital part-time the next several years. And after that, I volunteered at HealthServe, and I've recently retired from being at hearings for people that have lost their driver's license or had it restricted for health reasons. I was doing that until a couple of months ago.
Where did you get your medical degree? Where did you get your good school?
Went to Dartmouth College undergraduate, George Washington University School of Medicine, and then trained at Stanford and Boston University,
Pretty impressive.
and ended up with a fellowship in hematology at Duke.
That's a pretty impressive list there. How you got into running?
Yeah, I was a tennis player, and one day the court became wet with rain, and I was frustrated because I was going to have to go back on call, and ran around the block a couple of times. And I noticed that I was losing tennis matches because I wasn't in shape enough to finish off the match. So I began running around the block a couple of times after each tennis match. And when it got cooler one September, I ran one house further. And after that, the next thing I knew, I was running around the block 3 times. And pretty soon, I stopped playing tennis and was just running in races, initially 5 and 10K, but eventually in marathons.
What's the coolest race you remember doing, or?
Well, I wasn't really qualified to run in Boston, but the doctors had their own numbers and a higher entry fee, which I could afford. And so I ran Boston a couple of times, and that was enjoyable. There are 1 million fans there cheering you on.
Yeah.
And in part of one race, I was even with John Kelly, who had won it twice and who had been finished in the top 10 7 other times. He's 15 years older than I am. He started further back than I did, but the fans cheered him and honked their horns.
Yeah.
They recognized him. And he came up even with me about halfway through the race. And he, even though he's 15 years older, he's a lot more talented a runner I kept up with him for about a quarter of a mile
That's cool.
and absorbed all the honking horns and fans screaming and yelling as we went by together. Eventually, I couldn't keep up with him any further, but that was fun.
Half marathons, 5Ks, 10Ks.
Yes.
Any records you hold or anything? Or at one time, did you hold any records? I heard there was a rumor that you did.
Yes, because the owner of Fleet Feet was kind enough to submit the information to the person who keeps the records. I held state records for my age group in the 85 to 90 and 90 to 95 for various different distances, including the half marathon.
So what was your pace or speed at the
Oh,
total?
the
for
last half marathon I did was at 21 minutes per mile.
That's all right. That's good, man. At what age?
I think 85
80.
to 90.
85 to 90.
My fastest marathon, of which I'm obviously most proud, was an 8:03 pace.
Wow.
And that was in Charlotte, where the course was somewhat hilly.
That's impressive. That's really cool. Well, Dr. Dick, you refer to you as Dick, Mr. Rosen. Dr. Rosen, thank you for what you did for Greensboro for all those years and working at the hospital, and really cool for sharing some of your racing stories too. And at 85 to 90 and 90 to 95, holding records in the state for your runs. So
at the moment, the senior games classified people by their birth, as if their birth date were December 31st. So I'm 94, but I'm running in the 95 to 99 age group.
that's awesome.
I'm not really running, but I'll participate in
Well,
many of the track events.
you said you could go 4 steps downhill.
Yes.
4 steps downhill, you'll be running. So nice to meet you. Thank you for everything you did. We'll get back to our run.
Yeah.
We're at a little over a mile and a half, or over a mile and a half. I'm gonna edit out a bunch of that because Robin is like half a mile ahead of Mike and I.
I've hit my 5-year PR today.
All right. This beautiful area here kind of is the original kind of independent side. McCloskey's been around for 30 years?
31.
31 years. This is kind of the OG, I remember it, years ago. Robin, tell us a little bit about what kind of you find inside here. I know you got a beautiful dining facility, but you also have a theater, and you also offer, this is your kind of area here, the independent side where people, again, Robin's waving at everyone as we run through here, but they all come to you, not all, but most of them come to you for
I would say about
activities,
70%.
swimming, exercise, whatever. So what all happens behind these doors? Is it the theater? You maybe talking a little bit about that?
So, well, we have a nice, like you said, bistro dining area that's fairly new. I'd say about 6 years old. The theater was built at the same time. It's the Virginia Sutton Theater, and it's a beautiful facility. It's for the residents to have shows in, but also people from the outside can come in. We have a thing called Broadway to Greensboro.
Oh, cool.
And we have a lot of Broadway stars come in. They partner with UNCG, which is an awesome thing. The students come here and learn from that Broadway person, and then that person does a whole like stage thing on Saturday night for the residents and the students.
Cool.
We also have underneath the theater is 3 art rooms and a woodworking room, which the gentlemen love.
That's cool.
Yes, and they, they get trained and certified on those that room, but they all use that. They do painting classes, basket weaving down there, tons of stuff.
And the classes you offer, list some of the classes that you offer, because this is where you work. Again, this is about running, but it's really about what people do.
Yeah.
You are the wellness director, so what are some of the classes you offer, and what goes into some of your thoughts behind that?
Well, I try to do it at different levels.
Yeah.
So I have a chair fit 1, which is strictly in the chair, a chair fit 2, which is in and out of the chair, because you want to try to get them out of the chair as much as possible. I have a cardio fit, which is just low pack aerobics. Believe it or not, we have about 12 to 15 that come to that.
Wow.
I have well balanced. Aquasize, I'm in the pool 8 times a week.
Wow.
There's light aquasize and regular aquasize. The well balanced to me is an important one though, because at this age, they really need to work on their balance. We do that twice a week. We have yoga. I have an outside instructor come in. That's the one class I don't like to teach. I'm certified, but I don't like to teach it. We have a yoga instructor come in.
I don't like to teach it either.
But also, I teach a class, instead of down in the fitness center, up here in Florence Phillips Hallway, I teach a class called Jovial Joints. And I do that because some of the people on walkers don't want to make the hike all the way down to the AFC. So I come up and we do a lot of stretching. But my biggest class here, I had 46 in it the other day, is Flex and Flow. It's like a seated yoga stretch class, and they love it.
Oh, wow.
It's 3 times a week, and it's always packed.
Well, after this run, Michael and I might need that yoga flow just to kind of stretch it.
I'm gonna need more than that.
What class would you call this that you could put us through this morning?
Yep, maybe.
Okay, all right.
Smackdown is what I would call it. Robin Smackdown.
Well, a quick question though, what was your role here years ago?
Well, I actually did work here years ago. I was the kind of the wellness or activities director for the healthcare side.
Oh, wow.
So I had memory care, skilled care, assisted living, and then the rehab. And so we would go down to the newly aquatic center at that time. Really enjoyed my time here. Love Steve. People here were always great. I think about it often, so it's a cool place. So yeah, cool. All right.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go. Got another mile and a half to go, maybe. So, all right. So almost 3. I can see the
Like
sheen,
2.83.
the shine.
Desperation.
And then Robin tried to kill us with a sprint around this little circle here. At the last.
did good.
Michael and I thought we were done, but not so much.
Her trainer side came out. We got to see that motivation that she provides.
Yes, very good. The residents, I'm sure, really
They're
appreciate
in
your,
good hands.
Yes. So we'll wrap this up. Again, we do this to learn a little bit about the people that run, but also the people that run our community. And Michael and Robin, thank you so much for what you do
Thank you.
for this community, but also for making this a part of Greensboro. This has been a part of Greensboro for over 30 years. It's a phenomenal facility. You guys do it, I know, with care and with passion and love. You care about these folks, and that extends out into the community because Wellspring does a lot for our community. Food drives, offers events at the facility as well, donations to a lot of nonprofits.
Memory Center off-site as well.
And you've got, I know you can't talk, but you got some really cool people that live here. We talked to Dr. Rosen. He said refer to him as Dick Rosen, but I think he probably deserves a little respect. The doctor, phenomenal doctor in this community for 30 some years, holds records in running. He probably could have smoked us today. But anything else you'd like to leave with about why you do this, your why, like what's important for you about this work? You've done it for 16 years, you've done it for a number of years.
Well, basically we're all aging, so we're all going to be at this point one day. And I think it's vital that we stay in shape for it. I think it's vital that we have compassion for our seniors.
Yeah.
And I love what I do. I
Yeah.
absolutely love what I do. I love the residents here. I love my coworkers. I love my job.
Michael?
Yeah, you said I've been doing it for 16 years, and for me, it's been a field that I find where you get to do a little bit of everything. So like when I started out in college, I wanted to be an accountant, and I very quickly realized work with numbers all day is not what I'm cut out for. But this job, you do a little bit of numbers, there's a lot of people,
I love it.
working with people, and so I think it's a good balance of that, and then also just making sure that folks are being taken care of as they kind of go through life, which is, I feel like what my role is just to make sure that people are getting the care that they deserve. So
Yeah. Two awesome people, one great community, one great city. They're running it. I'm gonna give you a sweaty hug.
Oh, thank you.
So much fun. I'm gonna give you some love, man. This
Always
was
good to see you.
Yeah, you too, my friend. That's it for this episode of Who Runs the City. Hope you learned a little bit about what it takes to take care of our aging population and run in a community like this. Take care.